started, especially on behalf of the Warriors organization, from top to bottom. Most of you guys know what happened to Shelly last night. We just want to hope her she's doing better. We just want to wish her a speedy recovery. We're all praying for her.
Mike, day one of the series, you guys on both sides are talking about the history of the coaching staffs and all the relationships. And then day two, because of that play with Kawhi and Zaza, I'm sure you heard about what Pop said this morning. Were you surprised that he was so fired up? And what's your response to the way he's seeing that situation?
Well, he just protecting his guys, but obviously there were training events that happened. Right before that, Kawhi stepped on David Lee's foot and tweaked his ankle. And then that play happened. And then, like at the 7:23 mark, a couple plays or a play later, Steph shot the ball. And LaMarcus Aldridge went to contest, and he went up underneath Steph. And Steph avoided landing on his ankle by falling to the ground. And I even asked two of the three officials, I said, hey, that's the same call that you just called on Zaza. And both of them told me that the difference was Kawhi landed on Zaza's foot. Steph avoided landing on LaMarcus's foot. And that's why they didn't call a foul or whatever they called on Zaza. So it's the same play. And, Zaza's not a dirty player. LaMarcus is not a dirty player. It's a tough basketball play. You hate to see anybody get injured on a situation like that. But, you go back and watch the film, and they're both identical. Two guys shooting the ball. Two big guys going out to contest, and one, they slide under the shooter a little bit. Neither one, I don't think, on purpose. And one happens to land on one's foot, the other one doesn't.
Pop, are you surprised that he would come and call that dangerous and unsportsmanlike?
He's protecting his guy. He's doing what he should do to protect Kawhi.
Do you think there could be any other further action from the league on this? Or? No. It's done.
No.
You all concerned what Zaza's reaction to this might be? Is he felt affected by just the conversation? Just now that Popovich saying this, that you get all concerned how that might affect Pachulia?
I told him he was a terrible player compared to Clay when he thought he outscored Clay the other night. He went out and had a heck of a game yesterday against the Spurs. So I don't think anybody talking about him is going to affect him. Zaza's mature. Maybe if he was young, I don't know. He's mature. People take shots at people all the time or say things about people all the time. He's been in this league long enough. He's just going to go play his game.
Have you seen him grow this year, Mike?
What's that?
Have you seen him grow that way this year? He said early in the season, fans were picking on him so much, it did affect him, and he just made a decision, I think, in December, I'm done letting any of this other stuff bother me and control what I can control, basically.
Jenny, I wish I could say yes, but to me, he's just been the same. Yeah, he's been the same the whole time.
Mike, do you have an update on Iguodala and
Yeah, he didn't practice, but what's on? Hey, right. What's Andre's status?
Questionable for tomorrow.
What about Steph? Anything with his hand?
No, he's good to go.
Did he practice today?
Yeah.
No.
Mike, did that MRI on Andre tell you guys anything more? Get those results?
Did we get the results back from them?
Not had results yet. We got them.
Okay. Yes.
Mike, do you think this narrative of questioning Zaza's integrity as a player is kind of taken away from the 20-point halftime comeback you guys mounted yesterday? You think that's taken away from that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because it seems like no one's talking about that. They're all talking about, what Kawhi that led to that comeback.
We have no control over what people talk about, and we're really not concerned about that. We're getting ready for game 2.
So much, you guys made so much of taking care of every possession and the offensive rebounding, all week long. And we're a little, what seemed to be careless at times. How do you make that adjustment in a hurry to clean up some of those things?
We feel like we can play better, just like I'm sure they do, and there were a lot of possessions that we could have done things different, especially, with us talking about them going into the game and, watching film today and, we really didn't practice much. We stretched and warmed up and went through some offensive sets, but trying to do a little bit of cleanup hopefully will help us pay attention to detail a little bit more tomorrow night and come out and not get behind by 20 like we have every game against these guys.
Like you say, that Zaza's sure you feel like you can handle this, but at some point do you say something to him about don't let it get inside your head? Maybe when you guys go down to San Antonio and the crowd becomes a factor?
I haven't thought about that, and I haven't said anything to him. Obviously, we as a team, we typically have talked about what Pop said, but I didn't say, hey, don't let it get in your head. We feel like he's a big boy and he can handle it.
A lot of guys talked about how significant it was to hear from Steve at halftime, and obviously he's been really involved in messaging throughout the playoffs, but having him be more visible in this series, what effect do you think that's having?
It's great. I mean, he was visible in the Portland series. The only series he wasn't visible in is Utah, but he was visible in the first series. He's visible now, and the more he can be around, the more he can address the team, the more he can participate in practice in the film sessions. We love it. He's our head coach. He's our leader. We're in this position predominantly because of him.
Is he stepping up his participation like today?
He did a lot today. He participated in the film session. And again, we really didn't practice, but he participated in a little bit of practice that we had.
Is it the kind of thing where it's like, hey, he's the head coach, he can jump in wherever he wants? Or do you think he's trying to be careful about picking his moments?
No. This is his team. He's the head coach. I'm an assistant coach. I'm Mike Brown, Warriors assistant coach. He jumps in when he wants to. Yeah, no doubt.
Realistically, how do you guys blend, right? I mean, he's a surfer, a golfer, you ride motorcycles. Like, how do your personalities match as your sort of two voices in the room now?
He doesn't dress as nice and he dresses sloppier. I dress nice and I try to be cleaner. No, it's a little frumpy and hopefully a little put together.
Who sleeps in their office more? I remember you used to do that in LA a lot.
Yeah, it's because I live that far, and so it was easy for me to, just especially after games, to watch the game from there and then shoot over to practice. I don't know if he's ever done that.
You guys got Barnes into the rotation even before Andre was out. What was the thinking there, and do you imagine if Andre misses some time, Barnes is going to be a pretty significant part of plugging in there?
Well, just like San Antonio is extremely deep, and Pop has given those guys an opportunity the entire year to play, and so when they're missing certain guys step up, and that's how Steve's been with this team. Steve gives everybody an opportunity, and he feels comfortable with whoever's on the floor. And so it could be Matt, it could be Ian playing more. We talked about Pat McCall, who started for us in the past when KD was out. So we feel like the team is deep. The guys have had experience, and we have a lot of different options to be able to go to. But one of the reasons why we want to kind of get Matt out there a little bit again is Kawhi is a tough player, obviously on both ends of the floor, and he's big. And having a guy like Matt, who's a veteran, who's guarded him a lot of times, and all that other stuff, we felt would be to our benefit to have him ready to go just in case we need to throw him out there against Kawhi from time to time.
How do you get Clay going?
How do what?
How do you get Clay going? On the six yesterday's been down in the playoffs.
Right, his stat line offensively obviously wasn't what most people expect nor what he expected. I'm telling you, when you go back and you watch that tape, defensively, he was a monster. I mean, he was really, not good, he was really good for us defensively. And you don't stop anybody in the NBA, but one of the keys to their team is Patty Mills, and he guarded Patty Mills most of the night. They're like 40-4 when Patty Mills scores more than 10 points. And he's an emphasis for us, obviously, going into this series. And there were a lot of things that we didn't do well with the rebounding and some of the other things like that. But one of the things that happened, and knock on wood, hopefully it continues, is Clay was locked in on his defensive assignment, and he did about as good a job as we could have asked him to. So the shooting part's going to come. We're not worried about that, but the other stuff that he brought to the table was very exciting for us.
Probably
when
no
you said you addressed the team about Pop's comments, how did you sort of go about that? Just presenting, here's what he said, and let's move forward, or how did?
Does it bother you, the term dirty? I mean, it implies intent. It's something that when players get labeled that way, especially by a respected coach like Popovich, it's hard to shake. Is it?
I guess. I've been called a lot of names. So it's part of this business. You're in the public eye, and people are going to have opinions, and Pop has his opinion, and we just move forward.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Yep. Have a good day.
Thanks, Mike.